Siri_bot says, Siri_bot is here, Saribo arrive. Yawns laughed says, OMG he real.
Wow, I exist. That's funny. So I have window capture on. It's not tracking the marks. It's kind of funny. Can I refresh this? Okay, let me... It's been like this for the past 2 hours. Let me do browser. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's not capturing the... It's not capturing any changes. Wow. Guess I'm capturing the monitor. I don't like doing that because it's so... it's more resource intensive than just capturing a single window. I'll try game capture.
Yawns laughed says, better chance of a spicy reveal.
That too. It works. Game capture. Okay.
Yawns laughed says, spaghetti, I like it.
Spaghetti.
I'll just show you a little bit about what we're going to do over the next few weeks. There we go. So on the screen now is the version of the handout that I usually give to people when I'm doing the class in person. And I see some pretty funny comments in the comment section of the corner of my eye about the last exercise. So this is kind of the first handout.
I was sped up.
And so today what we're going to do is really just introductory
I got
fun
time.
drawing exercises, just to kind of get you excited about drawing. And so we're jumping right into the deep end of the pool. And I promise you can swim. We're going to continue doing some fun activities like that on
There's
Thursday. And we're
values
going to keep on
right
building
there.
on some of the basic techniques. Next Tuesday, we're going to start kind of really into some meaty drawing exercises. So like you see on the screen here, we're going to learn a little bit about shading. And if you're somebody who's you've seen a picture of a really cool lion that's on a coffee shop wall, and you walk in, like, that's a really cool photograph, and you think to yourself, and you get close to it, and whoa, that's a drawing. In all likelihood, that is using these kind of techniques that are on this side, in the PDF, right, in the image, right? So that's using shading to create the illusion of depth on a page, right? So you can see these kind of images of sphere, you see a little closer here, and some different kinds of shapes. So next week we're going to do this. If you follow along, by the end of next class, you're going to be able to do stuff like that. Okay. And then 2 weeks from now, we're going to learn about perspective, which is it's probably the most complicated thing that we are going to learn together. And it's difficult. It's a difficult concept, and I've been teaching it for years. I always think of it as, you know, those 3D pictures, they're in books that it looks like this weird computer glitch, and you look at it, it sounds like a dinosaur. What? It's a dinosaur, right? So, but if you look at it and you cross your eyes, and then all of a sudden you see that dinosaur, perspective is a lot like that. It takes a little bit of time to wrap your head around it. But once you get it, it's so exciting to be able to draw using perspective, some of the basic principles of it, because it's going to really make those drawings that you may be doing that just appear awkward and flat, and all of a sudden expand them into the illusion of 3 dimensions. So we're going to learn about perspective. And then 3 weeks from now, we're going to be learning how to draw complicated objects and organisms using simple shapes. So like you see in this drawing here, there's a bird or a pencil sharpener. We're going to learn how to draw something like that for basic shapes. And you might say, oh, that looks like what I see on the back of my cereal box every morning when I'm making breakfast for my kids. Like, were you seriously going to show me how to do that? Like, yeah, because it works. I've shown little children in elementary schools. I was doing a whole project showing children how to draw portraits and figures just a few months ago down in Surrey, a suburb of Vancouver here. Like the whole school I taught, kindergarten kids all the way up to high school kids in the whole school. I showed them all this, we had an exhibition of their work. And also I teach at University here in Vancouver, and I show art people who are determined to be professional artists how to draw humans and other kinds of shapes using this very same system, right? It's a way of looking at things and breaking them down into the most simple kinds of shapes to make your life easier. Because I just said, draw that bird right now in 5 minutes. Where do I even start? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. And all of that builds up to our final class, which is learning. We're going to draw some like fruits, and we're going to make it like a still life. And I'll have one on the screen in real time that we can draw from, but you can also set one for yourself and draw that too. So there's plenty of, so that takes us 10 hours of class that I'm going to give you for absolutely free if you decide to stick around for all of them. And again, you can watch them in real time with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 o'clock here Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern time. I think it's 9 o'clock in AM in Australia. Wherever you are, if you can watch it in real time, you can take some comments in the comment bar and I can read and interact with you. Or you can be up there for till the end of time on YouTube, and you can go back and watch them at your convenience. So if you're busy on Thursday nights, just come back on, and on Friday morning and maybe follow along. Okay, so let me just see. So we talked here about supplies a short while ago. Having a sketchbook, pencil, eraser. I also would encourage you, if you have some colored pencils laying around.
He is doing these on like a sketch pad, but as long as I should be fine. Since this is not so much about the tools as much as it is about the drawing and like whatever he does in there, I should be able to do with the program. Like I'm not painting and like letting paint dry and waiting and shit like that, or like blending paint. So I should be good with just software.
Around, you can get pencils from like a dollar store for $1 or $1.25. You can also go to our store and buy really nice pencil crayons for $50, $60. So I don't want to go off too much of a tangent, but what is the difference between a set of colored pencils for $1 for 12 pencils and one for $50 for 12 pencils? The difference is the quality of the pencil and the sort of lead inside. A really nice set of colored pencils has very little wax or binder inside, so you can draw with it and then draw on top of it with another color and draw on top of it with another color and build up these really beautiful detailed blending of color. And with some of these you can add water to them and they turn into watercolor pencils or water-soluble pencils. Versus cheaper pencils, there's a lot of wax in there, so they're almost like crayons. If you're drawing, you want to add some red and you want to add some over top, you might get 1 or 2 layers and then the pencil's going to resist new marks. Okay. Other things, the cheap pencil sharpener works really well. I have an electric one here that works. Okay. We also talked about how to hold a pencil, or we're going to talk about how to hold a pencil. That's what I want to go to next. So when you're writing, often people, I've seen every combination of ways that people hold a pencil.
This is something I was kind of thinking about, is like, am I even holding the pencil right? Because I noticed sometimes when I like try to do lines, like it'll like kind of curve. I'm kind of exaggerating it, but it'll like curve when I start the lines like that. So, but I think that's less about like how I hold it and more about like just using my wrist instead of, or my whole forearm instead of my wrist, or like flicking. Oops. The fucking buttons on the side piss me off. That's also something why I feel like I'm kind of holding it wrong, is because I keep hitting the buttons, and I feel like that's a thing that shouldn't be happening. Anyway.
Pencil. Just a cheap pencil sharpener works really well, or I've got an electric one here that works. Okay. We also talked about how to hold a pencil. Or we're going to talk about how to hold a pencil. That's where I want to go to next. So when you're writing, often people, I've seen every combination of ways that people hold a pencil to write, whether you're right or left-handed, right? And there's no right way to do it. I want to make that very clear. I've seen every kind of way it works, and I have friends who are artists who...
I did see a really crazy way to hold a pencil by like a not cartoonist, but well, I guess kind of like a comic artist, or at least he was drawing Spider-Man. I don't fucking remember how he was holding it. I wonder if I can find it. Oh, fuck, I don't know even where to start. Let me see. Taro. PewDiePie. When did I look at it? If I could sort by date. Oh, again. Gotta scroll through. Through all the fucking Odyssey musical shenanigans. Jeez. I'll pull it once I find it. Actually, I know what to do. Pencil. Oh, I know what to do, actually. I can look at my web history. So I remember I was looking up, oh fuck, did I say pencil or stylus? I realized I hold my pencil weirdly / wrong, archived. Okay, I found it. This is how comic artist Eric Larson draws. Wait, isn't the guy who drew the really weird perspective? Hang on. No. I don't know who this guy is then. Look at how he's holding his shit. Yeah, I think I agree with that sentiment. It doesn't really matter how you hold it, unless you're literally, as long as it's like the right angle. Because I know sometimes coloring you want to use like the side of the pencil, and stuff. Etc. Like where's my? There's my pencil, like this. Like just angles.
Who have ways that to me look super awkward, but they make beautiful drawings, right? There
Eric Larson.
are fantastic people who are incredible drawers who use their feet, right? Who have some sort of challenge that prevents them from using their hands, and they've adapted to use their feet. So you can do this with your hand, right? So generally, people will hold a pencil the way that they hold a pen. Generally, people hold a pencil to draw in the same way that they hold a pencil to write their shopping list or a check to their landlord or something, right? And that generally works, but there are times where you want to hold your pencil differently for different reasons. So you might want to, instead of holding it in that way that feels most comfortable when you're writing a check, I often encourage people, you put your pencil right down and then think of your hand like a forklift or some kind of construction equipment, and you can kind of just reach down and pick it up like that, right? And then you can kind of shift your finger on the top, and this allows you to, get some really soft, subtle gradations in your pencil marks. Okay. The next thing that I want to do, I'm going to zoom in here, is
use a mechanical pencil.
This next one on the screen, on the top, you'll see, it's kind of hard to get, is that working? Slide that over, doesn't want to go over. Okay, I gotta make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so you'll see on the screen now,
it's still a little cut off for me.
There's these 4 rows.
There you go.
And 5 columns. Under row A, or column A, you'll see those boxes are kind of highlighted and they're a little bit darker. And then, so what I want you to do, so under column A is what's the best way to say this? Column A, I want you to try to match up the drawing that looks most like the drawing in column A. So if I'm looking at this image, row number 1, which one is it, the B, C, D, or E that looks most like A? You don't even have to draw anything right now, but just looking at the screen, I want you to try to determine which one is which. So I'm going to give you
4.
about
right.
2
wait.
minutes.
Hang on, what was
column A is, and then, so what I want you to do,
instructions unclear, hang on.
Column A is what's the best way to say this? Column A, I want you to try to match up the drawing that looks most like the drawing in column A. So if I'm looking at this image,
row
number.
Okay, so just looking at all these, which one? I see. Okay. So
number 1. Which one is it, the B, C, D, or E that looks most like A? You don't even have to draw anything right now, but just looking at the screen, I want you to try to determine which one is which. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes right now to see if you can figure out which ones are which. And usually I give this on a piece of paper, and you can kind of just X out the ones that don't work. But while you're doing this and trying to determine which one's which, I'll just ramble on a little bit.
Okay, I guess I'll go do that. So immediately D only has 2 lines, so not that. B, the box is too long. Let's see. E, the square here is not rectangular. It's between, it's C. Looks like. Yeah, I like that practice. Because that is effectively what I do a lot, is comparing and looking back and forth and like seeing what's different, and like comparing lines and whatnot. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's funny looking at it more. What did I say? C? C's right. And so like the square box right here is still too wide, but it's the one that fits the closest. And the squiggly here, it curves a little bit too far here. The 3 lines here, like the line up top is a little too wide. Where like the very bottom one's supposed to be the widest, and like the top line, middle line are supposed to be like kind of the same. But it's mostly this box right here is fucking a little too wide. It's supposed to be rectangular, not square. But the answer is C.
If you look at these, think about like finding the differences here. So if you see something that is clearly not like A, then
there's a very clear application to this. Yeah, I like that.
You could scratch it off your list. So for instance, let's say this was, if I go back to my sketchbook, do I have this here? I could make a little list here, and I go, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is it? And I could do B, C, D, E, B, C, D, E, B, C, D, E, B, C, D, E. Right? And as I look at this image, which one looks most like A? Well, B doesn't look like A because of that longer rectangular box.
Yeah, right here.
D doesn't look like it could be because there's only 2 lines on that vertical above the circle. So it's between C and E. Right? So And I look at E, has instead of that rectangle in the bottom left corner is vertical rather than horizontal. So that would mean C is the one.
I'd still like him to like kind of analyze C, and so we can see other differences too.
Okay, so let's try to do this. I don't want to sort of do it all for you, and I'm trying to remember.
Why not? I'll do that real fast. Okay. This over here. Hang on. Gotta leave room. There we go. So 1 is C. 2. So looking at 2, I'll put this in front of me. So like C is not B because it's missing that line. C is also missing a line. D, the triangle's a little shorter. It's at, I think the angle's fine. Angle looks a little weird because it's shorter, I think. D looks close. The circle right here is also, I think, at a kind of slightly off angle. Okay, E. E. Oh, it has an extra fucking circle. Okay, it's D. Okay. 3. So looking at 3. And I'm just kind of taking in everything. So I see 2 lines here. Inside the kind of rectangle that's snug against the corner. Also, this is going past halfway, where this is almost exactly halfway. Circle on the half circle on the outside, cut. Well, this is like a little more than half, like 60% circle on the inside. Got a U and a circle right here that the circle meets the line here. The top of the circle meets the line here. I see 2 small lines connected to a line that meets the edge here, and then like 1 line here, and like 2 more lines right here in the corner. So B is missing that line. C, C might be the correct answer. I'm not noticing any huge differences. Oh no, this circle's on the outside. Okay, because I'm looking, I'm like, okay, so like small differences, but yeah, no, it's not C. D, that circle is a square here, so E is correct. I can point out some other small shit. Like lines are more parallel here. Oh no, this should have been example 1. This line right here is a little crooked. Well, yeah, it's fine. E. Final answer. 4. So looking at it, I see a circle with a small circle with a line on the bottom that intersects, a line on top that doesn't intersect, another line that slightly intersects but is longer, rectangle on the bottom that has a line that doesn't intersect, that intersects a larger circle that has a circle on the inside. Do I see 3 lines or 2? I'll blow this up a second. No, it looks like 2 lines. Then the circle is just kind of overlapping weirdly. Like, I think it's just doing like that, where like the circle, it's just where like the circle drawing ends and started. And it's got this weird overlap, and it's like, I don't think it's, if it is a 3rd line, it's not obvious enough to be, I think, impactful. In my humble opinion. So, I'm gonna say, oh wait, I missed one. Also, a line on the bottom that has 3 smaller lines intersecting. Yeah, okay. So right here, I see a 3rd line here. Also, that circle right there is tiny. It's got 3 lines, intersecting line, square, circle, intersecting, non-intersecting, intersecting longer. Might be C. D. I see the line here isn't intersecting. The square is rotated 90 degrees. Yeah, this line is intersecting, which might not be the point, but this line is rectangular instead, or just rotated 90 degrees. Right here, God damn, why is it so close? Jesus Christ. That line's almost touching the circle, which doesn't matter because there's 4 lines here on the bottom. Why is it so close though? God damn. I think it's because the circle's too big. Like both these circles are too big, and this one's like a little further away from the wall. And that line's a little bit longer, and also not slowly intersecting, which I also just don't think is the point, but it's fine.
Remember which...
Oh yeah, D. I said D. No, it's not D. Wait, what? C. C's the correct answer. C. All right.
Which ones are which here? I always forget, so it's always a little bit of a challenge for me. But I think the reason why I do this is...
Yeah, I see the application.
So much of drawing is about looking. And I use the analogy of if you're in a car and you're driving down the highway and you have a review mirror and the...
Yeah, it's about perception and being able to understand lines and like really just perceive them as they are. What the fuck did I even just say? Yeah, I get it. I think the application is very clear.
Your windshield. Which one do you want to be looking out of most of the time? Obviously, it's the windshield, right? You want to be looking at the road in front of you rather than the road behind you. Drawing is the same way. If you're trying to draw something, you want to be looking at that thing more than you're drawing, because all the answers are in front of you, not behind you on the paper, right? The more you're looking at your paper while you're drawing, the less you're focused on the object or person that you're trying to draw. So this, I try to reinforce this exercise as often as possible. So I think people should be finishing. The first one, what we did together, was C. If I recall, the second one is D. The third one, if I remember, is E, and the fourth one is just going. I believe it is C again. I think. So if you got those wrong, don't worry about this. I often, when I do it in class, people call it out. I see certain people like, oh yeah, I meant C, obviously. And it's not like it doesn't mean that you're better or worse at things. It's just trying to kind of get you to looking at the details of things. Okay, so because that's super important. So let's go to you can even, let's say on your sketchbook. Let's say about this space down here and above here, or if you want, you can go to a blank page, or if you really don't like this drawing and you just want to move on, you could use the opposite side. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom in on. Okay. This is a little bit trickier to do online because usually this is a handout that you could do this drawing right on the handout. But what I want you to do is let's make some boxes here, and you could do it like that, or you could draw 6 boxes like this. Again, look, my boxes aren't pretty boxes. I'm not concerned with making it look perfect, right? What I want you to do now is I want you to copy what you see in I'll just start drawing this here. And I usually also set a timer. So I'm looking at the top left box.
Timer.
And I'm going to try to copy what I see in those boxes.
Yeah.
Right here. All right, so you can see this is a fairly straightforward activity. So what I want you to do now is I want you to do all 6 of these here. Right? You do it again on a blank piece of paper or on a paper you're already using for your drawing. And each one you want to spend.
Let's see. I was gonna set a timer, but I'll just let him kind of talk through it.
I usually set like a 6-minute timer for this, and some people can do this all in 45 seconds, and some people they need 10 minutes to do it. I would say if you are somebody who's doing it really, really, really fast, what I want you to do is just to slow it down.
6 minutes.
Right, slow it down. If you're and try to get a little bit more accuracy. If, however, you're somebody who, is obsessed with perfection and.
Hang on, I do need to make this bigger. Oh, actually, that's perfect. Okay. Hang on. How about that? How's it look on OBS? Okay, yeah. Good.
Is drawing this and erasing constantly to try to get it perfect. Well, then what I want you to do is to speed things up a little bit and just be a little bit more forgiving to yourself about achieving perfection.
Oh, forgive yourself.
Right? Because we don't, at this particular stage of drawing, we're not concerned with perfection. We want it's sort of like a lot of people when it comes to drawing want I'm gonna switch this to here, and I'm gonna draw while I talk here a little bit. A lot of people when they're thinking about drawing, they feel if I don't do something that is worthy of the National Gallery and to be exhibited alongside Picasso and Frida Kahlo and Emily Carr, well then I'm a complete and utter failure.
Oh.
And it might but that's how people often approach drawing. It's like I can't draw because I can't draw better than anybody else on earth. Right? But if we took that same attitude towards things like riding a bicycle, there would literally be no one riding a bicycle if the barrier to riding a bicycle was win the Tour de France. And if you don't win if you're not capable of winning the Tour de France, then there is absolutely no point whatsoever in getting on a bicycle. Right? So you don't have to make the best drawing ever.
Hold on. I should have organized it like his. This is gonna confuse me. It's not too hard. There we go. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
In order to draw, right? There's lots of leeway, and there's plenty of drawers, people who draw professionally, that draw in very different styles, and we'll talk about that as we go. But there's people who draw very realistic drawings, and then there's people who draw very abstract drawings, and some people who and they sell their paintings for millions of dollars, right? So on both sides. So some people would find, some professional artists might find this activity that we're doing right now very difficult, right? So not everyone, just in the same way a guitarist might not know how to play a piano, but is very good at using the guitar, right? They could be like Django Reinhardt and be the best guitarist ever, but might not be able to play a violin. It doesn't mean that they're an awful musician. They just haven't mastered that tool. Okay,
Done.
so I'm getting closer to finishing my drawing here. If yours
This one's a doozy.
is, if you're still
I can
kind
start.
of way back here on the second one, then that tells us that what we need to do is we're a little bit hard on ourselves. That we're kind of possibly obsessed with perfection, and that might be useful in other aspects of our life, but when it comes to drawing, it is going to burn you out. And quite honestly, if that's how you approach drawing, you are going to give up on drawing. If you're obsessed with perfection, there's just the likelihood that you're going to stick around for all these episodes is very low, and you're going to be very unhappy with everything you do. So
Damn,
I want you to
Jesus Christ, dog. I didn't come here to be fucking red. Shit. I just got clocked. Like a 5-year-old drawing tutorial class video. Shit. It's like, oh, I see you're finishing up 3. You're gonna give up. Jeez. Okay, he's not wrong. Yeah, fuck. Alright. Yeah, I get it.
give yourself and give yourself the freedom to make mistakes, right? That's, if there's anything you learn from today, that would be it. Okay, so I usually would also ask at this point, like, how was this activity? How did you do? How did that feel? Some people really struggle with this exercise, and then some people are just like, oh, this is super easy. Really? This is what we're doing? So, again, there's different sort of skill levels and abilities. Okay, so that was our drawing, and I think we've gone a little bit more than 6 minutes on that anyway.
What?
So,
I
the
still got
next
2 more.
thing that I want...
Hold on, I still got 2 more, dog. Shit. Give me time. Fuck, I'm trying to forgive myself. I didn't come here for a therapy session. Jesus Christ. Why do I feel like crying? Legit choked up here, dog. Fuck. Man just looked me in the eye and said, forgive yourself.
Jans laughed says, I said it first.
Well, listen, I expect it from you. It's like when you watch cartoon, like a normal-ass cartoon, they have like a fucking disturbing, scary moment. You're like, Jesus Christ, it's like more scary than like horror films. You're like, fuck, I wasn't expecting that shit. What the fuck? And it catches you off guard. You're like, oh.
Jans laughed says, like Tiny Chef.
Oh, fuck, yeah. You see this silly fucking pudgy green guy, and he's just crying on the bed. Like, oh. Oh, no. Though I think I'd do it because I perceive that I'm, well, perceive and am impatient. Especially with like my line work. I feel like I do my lines way too quickly. I try to hedge that or head that off. Because I do think it is a problem that I need to address, but maybe I'm going about it the wrong way, where like I can be impatient. It's just more with time I can refine the impatience. Sort of like how you work better the lazier you are because you find creative workarounds. Yeah. Also, I am like having fun. I'm not. This isn't frustrating. I like reading the lines and like seeing where they connect and how they interact. But fucking that is a thin line. Yeah, lots of mistakes, but that's fine. That's fine. I can get a red marker and fucking say, well, also it could just be the boxes are misshapen too. Woo! All right. Actually, was that full
John's
screen the
laugh
entire time?
says,
Oh, okay.
Narrator, he did not think it was fine.
Want to transition to, and what we're going to do is we're going to do.
You grade my work?
How much time do I have here? I think what we're going to
I'll tell you. You have about 40 minutes.
do, we'll do
40 minutes.
one more drawing for today, or
Okay.
to finish up, and then we'll call it a session, and then I'm going to go through the comments and answer as many comments as possible. Okay, so let's go to a blank page.
This is just like a whole ass YouTube video. By the way, there is 40 videos over. Yeah, I you know, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll see how far I can get.
In our sketchbook,
I'm having fun.
and on the screen, I've just brought up this
Looks like a cello.
image by
Guitar.
Pablo Picasso. It's a drawing of a guitar.
Can I guess? Capturing the essence. What is important? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try to figure out what the lesson is. So I think the important part is like when we looked at it, we immediately thought instrument, because we saw like these swirls that guitars normally have, it would like connected to the lines. And that's associated with guitars, and like you have like it's shapes that capture the essence. That's what I'm getting from the lesson.
So what I want us to do is imagine we were just doing that exercise we just did, right? I want you to repeat that on a full page in your sketchbook, right? So I want you to try drawing that image again here on the sketchbook. Okay, and I am going to...
All right, hang on, I need to blow this up again. How's that? Can you see that? It's a little big. Let me see.
Jan's laugh says, were the instructions finished?
I think I should go ahead and start. I'm not gonna draw it. Well, I'm gonna let him yap on. Just give myself like time to draw, just so I can gauge like if I'm taking too long. I'm just fixing the, fixing the window so that you can at least see it and kind of follow along. I have a full screen over here. That's why I had to make adjustments.
Let's say we'll spend 8 minutes on this drawing. So that'll take us just a little bit over the hour mark of the video. And what I want you to do is, and I want you to start right now. Right? Before I even begin, I want you to start, and then I'm going to kind of jump in afterwards here. Because I don't want to sort of tip my hat just yet as to how I would approach this drawing. I want you to start the drawing yourself. Because let's say some people will start the drawing from the top and then sort of work their way down like a printer. You know, some people will do the opposite and start from the bottom and work their way up. You know, depending if you're right or left-handed, I've seen people work one side to the other or the other way to the other, right? Some people work from the center and expand outwards, and some people work from the out and expand center, and some people are all over, right? Again, there's no right way to do this. It's whatever feels most comfortable to you. And it's important for you to, you know, every once in a while to sort of check in with yourself and feel and ask, like, how does this feel? Does this feel natural to me, or does this feel really awkward? So if it feels really awkward, you know, then it means that possibly it's something really new and we're challenging ourselves, and that's why it might feel awkward, or there might be a better way to do it that's going to be more efficient and make you feel more comfortable and we want, as we're drawing, we want this to be a pleasurable activity. We want to be able to draw for fun, right? I think drawing is the most kind of relaxing and pleasurable activity, but I'm biased because this is what I do for a living, and what I love doing. I'm sure plenty of other people feel differently, but so
try fucking.
It's just a matter of kind of checking in with yourself and feeling like, if I'm doing this and it doesn't feel right, then I need to make some kind of a change, right? Okay, so as you're doing that, I'm going to draw along with you, and maybe I'm just going to sharpen my pencil.
Oh hell yeah! I
should mention too. I often find
more
drawing with a really sharp pencil to be actually a little bit tricky. So I don't actually like to have a super sharp pencil. I like it when it's just before it gets super sharp, so it's a little bit still rounded on the end. And if you get it till it's too sharp, you can just take your pencil and kind of, it's like you're kind of sanding down the edge. And you'll even find that there are these little blocks at art supply stores that have a little tiny piece of sandpaper that you can use. Or if you have some sandpaper at home, you can just take it, and that'll immediately kind of take the point off of your pencil. Okay, so I'm gonna catch up to everybody here who's working on that drawing. So at this point, you should be about halfway done this drawing of a guitar.
About halfway, maybe a little more.
So when I'm doing this, one of the things I often will do when I'm looking at a drawing is try to find the center of the image and of my piece of paper. So when I see that, I see this is the top of that, or the center of that guitar, and then I come out and come down.
Jeez.
And my screen, for me, this is very tiny, so I might make some slight alterations as I draw.
Hang on, I'm not looking at the image enough.
The other thing I'm doing is I'm kind of looking for connection points. So every line I put down is in relationship to every other line I put down here. And that would mean this guy is going to come all the way up here.
Oh, wow.
And then we've got...
Oh, yeah, he started from the middle, huh? Hang on.
And the thing I'm doing is alter guitar and of my piece of paper. So when I see that, I see...
Oh, wait, I guess you should probably see how he's doing it then, huh? Good luck. I'll try to keep this on like the left side.
This is the top of that, or the center of that guitar, and then I come out and come down. And my screen, for me, this is very tiny, so I might make some slight alterations as I draw.
Done. I just gotta kind of color some shit in. So this should be line of that.
The other thing I'm doing is I'm kind of looking for connection points. So every line I put down is in relationship to every other line I put down here. And that would mean this guy is going to come
I think I'm ready to
here,
finish this up.
and then we've got...
Oh, you know, I wonder if that's just because it's printed out.
And you can see mine is already, there's some distortions that have happened here. I'm looking at it like, oh, I've already made a few so-called mistakes.
But you know what? We're going to forgive ourselves.
Right? Can't quite go here. Let me see.
That is probably just like a printer.
If you're going super fast, what I also want you to try doing is to draw the
anomaly.
Write down the text in the top left corner and see if you can do that.
Okay. It's different.
About 2 minutes left to finish this drawing off. Where am I here? Okay.
Wait, why am I doing that? I want to kind of see how he
Also
breaks it down, actually.
all the way up here.
Yeah, I believe I'm done. I finished early. Yeah, I want to see how he breaks it down.
The other thing I'm doing is
starting
in
from the middle,
relationship to every other line I put down here.
Because when I start from the top, I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough space. But yeah, that's smart. I just don't know how. Oh, wait, I see another anomaly.
And that would mean this guy's gonna come all the way up here, and then we've got. You can see mine is already, there's some distortions that have happened here. I'm looking at it like, oh, I've already made a few so-called mistakes, right? Can't quite go here. Let me see. If you're going super fast, what I also want you to try doing is to draw the, write down the text in the top left corner and see if you can do that.
This is a fun little exercise.
How are we doing? About 2 minutes left to finish this drawing off. Where?
Okay, I'm curious. When he drew the square, I wonder what he tried to relate it to when he drew it. I think I see. I think he looked at this line, went down. I think looked at this. He drew that squirrel first, right? Yeah.
It's left.
I think based on like where that square is compared to like where the circle starts to kind of taper in. The half circle starts to taper in like this line right here. I think that's what he did.
To finish this,
I lined it up with what I lined it with. This right here. That's what I looked at. And I looked at this right here. So it's lined up, but because the proportions are wrong, it's like very low. Low of this ass crack. That's fine.
Drawing off.
Which is what I try. I try to find the latitude and longitude when I compare lines and stuff. I see like what's above it, what's below it, what's to the left, what's to the right. It's just late in the process, so without mutilating everything else, it's just going to be in a kind of not good spot. That's fine. I'm pretty sure I hit all the lines.
Where am I here?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, another thing that is happening as I'm drawing this, and I've got a 4B pencil. So this is a pencil that will get soft and rounded very quickly, and I can see my lines are changing in width and thickness as I go here.
Line weight.
Remember I was talking about holding the pencil from the side? So I can hold the pencil, instead of drawing or like as if I'm writing, I'm holding the pencil from the side, and to get this kind of subtle effect.
You know, I did consider switching to like this chalk thing, so I can do that. I should have done something like that. I should play with the tools. Yeah, I had plenty of time. I didn't have any reason to rush it.
Inside here, maybe I'll move my sketchbook a little bit over here so you can see. I'm kind of just holding it very lightly, really, and kind of shading this area inside. And so to make it darker, I just keep applying more and more pressure to the pencil, and that's getting slowly darker and darker and darker.
We don't have pencils in this house anyway.
Okay, we've got about
Just
1
mechanical
minute
pencils.
left on this drawing. Oh, and if you're kind of almost done, you want to kind of scan it and see, like, is there anything that's missing here?
He's missing this line right here.
Maybe darken something. Let's say
He's also missing this line up here.
This area on the guitar. Okay.
Oh no,
So,
he's missing 2 lines.
this drawing, you know, by Picasso, it was to begin with an abstraction, right? It wasn't a,
Andrew says,
you know, this is the
looking guitar.
Yeah, damn. What kind of fucking music does it make? What the
part
fuck?
of his cubist phase of art making, and it was about taking recognizable things and then sort of almost like, if you think of like a cardboard box, unfolding them so you could see all the sides simultaneously. So your drawing of this Picasso drawing is a distortion of a distortion, right? So it's already going to look a little bit strange. Because Picasso's looked to
It's like
strange to
JPEG
begin with too,
compressions.
right? So yours, if it doesn't look like Picasso's, it may actually look more like the guitar again. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, and I see people talking about perfection here in the comments, you know, if you just think about it's the imperfections in drawing and painting which give your artwork its unique quality. If you were to reproduce that original image absolutely identically, you know, that would be impressive, but it wouldn't tell us anything about you besides the fact that you are really good at, you have good hand-eye coordination and are great at reproducing and copying things, right? When it comes to art, we're always looking for the idiosyncratic individual qualities and abilities people have that separate them from everybody else, right? So the changes that you make, either purposefully or accidentally in your drawing, are good things, not bad things. And that is such an important thing to remember, because, you know, especially when we're drawing faces, sometimes people get so down on themselves about the quality of the portraits they're doing, and I'm coming around looking at them thinking like, wow, that's so cool. Like, how did you decide to draw the nose that way? And they're like, oh, don't look, it's so bad. Oh, it's awful. I'm so embarrassed. And I think in that moment, that person has made something incredible, but because it turned out differently than what they wanted it to look like, it's a failure. So, you know, this is why we often say artists are their worst critics, because often we're making something that is new and it surprises us and scares us. And that's why having a third person or a second person to, you know, give us feedback on our work is really helpful, to have somebody look at it. Because I would say, you know, even if you're not happy with the drawing you made,
I will say, that is nice to hear. I like that. I will say, what bothers me the most about that is, like, accidentally, you know, making something that you like, is just the ability to do it again. Like, I don't know how I did it the first time. That's really what bugs me the most about, like, you know, the stuff I've posted and done, because I don't think I'd be able to do it again. But he's right.
if you were to show just
The consistency. I just don't like the inconsistency of how I draw. Because I would like to, you know, be able to at least replicate what I've done, right? That's it. But he's right.
this simple drawing to a friend of yours and say, what do you think? They go like, well, that's really cool.
What do you think?
Where did you buy that? Or like, oh no, I did this drawing. oh, I didn't know you could draw at all. Like, when did you pick up this new skill? Like, oh, I just started taking an online class, right? So, most people are very.
I try not to do that, dude. I'm damaged. I'm damaged goods. I think you just have to, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer to that is. I knew what he was suggesting. Having a third person look at it. Yeah, there is a person at work who does draw and stuff, and like they do like little like abstract little designs. Talk to her about the stuff that I'm doing. Showed her the Krita software and the tablet I'm using. And I showed her the Meowth picture I did. I'm like, hey, don't get too excited. It's a one-to-one sketch. Well, I don't want to be that guy, right? It's like look at this other picture I did. It's like, oh. I feel like I could detect the indifference, and I think that the indifference hurts more than like, oh, I don't care. Anyway, that's for the counselor.
Self-conscious about their drawing because drawing is a very personal activity, and it can be very.
Also, I think back to like high school, where oh man, this is gonna sound mean. I guess actually there's a lesson inside there too. I remember this girl in high school that I kind of talked to on the bus every now and then. She's like, hey, so I've been doing like photorealism. I'm like, oh really? Photorealism? She's like, yeah. You know, I'm drawing faces and stuff, and I'd like draw people in class. I'm like, oh wow. She's like, do you wanna see one? I'm like, yeah, I'll see a picture. And like, it's like a Napoleon Dynamite looking picture. I don't even have to demonstrate it. I can just pull it up. Oh no! This is when he drew. Oh no, not that bad. Not that bad.
Yawns laughed says at Dadruth, yeah, I wouldn't want to learn to draw from that guy. Dadruth says, LUL.
I mean, kind of like that. The eyes weren't that far apart, but you know, it's like the I guess the middle school style of like photorealism, where like they do the lips. I mean, fucking, I don't know. This feels like a really harsh example.
Dadruth says, Birch by Nakamungus.
But, you know, it's just like. Let me think. I gotta take myself back to the time in middle school. You know, like, it's like that. I kind of. Like that. you know, like in middle school, where like you're not really you're drawing the what's I'm trying to think what the disconnect is. I think it's just like when you do line work on what's supposed to be like color graded. Is that the right word? Color grading, even though it's black and white. It's supposed to be like kind of shaded in, or it's not supposed to be drawn, or it's supposed to be like implied, or you're supposed to use like a different line weight. But like maybe they'll do like the eye lines. Maybe they'll do like that. Yeah. Yeah, she showed me a picture that kind of looked like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, wow. I wasn't mean. But I was kind of, I was. Do I want to say cringing? I think I'll say cringing, because like she was happy with it and proud of it. I'm like, ooh, does she know? And I think the reason why I was kind of cringing at it and not thinking like, oh well, she's gonna get better, I think was just the fact that she was satisfied enough to share it. And man, this sounds so
Yon's
mean to
laugh
say.
says,
I
"That's
don't.
me."
That's me. What was me? It's not exactly the fact. It's I think it's not being mean. It's not being mean. Um, I think there's a difference with being proud of like the progress you're making, or in like being proud of like finished product, right? Where it felt like she was proud of the finished product, where it seemed like she was satisfied with where she was at. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I don't know if she's gonna get any better because it sounds like she's at where she wants to be. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Um, but regardless, like a few years later, I think I don't remember. This was in like high school. I think either junior year or senior year. Well, at some point, I like came across her like Facebook or something, and her pictures actually look really good. I'm like, oh hell yeah, and I remembered her. I'm gonna leave that there. I was gonna erase it. I'm like, you know what? You could stay. You could stay. But yeah, I think that's a trap with like that people fall into based on the YouTube videos I've seen. Based on YouTube videos I've seen. Is just like people when they do a sketch and it looks really good and like they ink it, they do the ink, and when they ink it, it looks really bad, and like, oh, why is it not coming out better? It should look better. It's because they're not doing what sketching does, is sort of maybe not so much color grading as much as line weight. I feel like sometimes people like shade while they're like I know I fucking do. Will shade while they're sketching, like they'll shade stuff, and it's like, oh, I shaded this. I don't know if they like try to emulate the shading, but like if they're doing like the smile line, which there wouldn't be smile lines here if they're not fucking smiling. Neither am I. I have smile lines, but I'm old. I'm getting there. I have more gray hairs, or like pigmentation in my hair. It could be stress related. But like you're sketching, you're probably like just kind of lightly doing it, for example. But then when you go to ink it, it's just. This is why it looks weird when you ink over sketches. It's because you're not emulating the line weight. Which is something I tried to do with that Rambly picture. Is I was mostly with the eyes. Actually, let me look at it. It's in my Discord. Oh yeah, yes sir. Let's see. Which I did end up finding a fucking brush that did proper fucking. Well, I'm still working through it. Let me see. Because I was using this brush right here, which I had a really hard time getting it to, you know, taper properly. It kept tapering way too, yeah, so way too quickly, and then losing it way too quickly. I think I had to use a different brush. I think this is a better brush for that. I have to start getting ready. Fuck. Okay, I gotta move on. Regardless. I kind of like the texturing of the brushes, honestly. It gives character. I love picture, like, sketching with this, I think is fun, just because it gives texture, personality to the picture. I like it. And I like artists that do that. Where it feels less like a manufactured PNG and more like a fun pixel. But yeah, like the eyes, you can see the thick lines right here, and then it thins out down here. It's a little hard to differentiate because it blends with like the face markings, but I believe that's how the source is. So I couldn't really play around with that a whole lot. Thick lines on the sclera, iris. Thinner lines on the pupil. And then like right here, thick and thins out, tapers down. Thin lines on like the inside details, thick lines on the outside detail. Something I didn't do is later I saw that there was a thinner lines, I think, on the body and arms, where like the head had all the thick lines, and like the tail had thinner lines. I didn't do that. I just kind of went off on my own. I looked back, and I'm like, I'll leave it. Yeah, something that I just think is very annoying that I want to eventually grow out of is lines like this where they taper down. I would like to do that with a brush stroke instead of like going back and erasing lines. I'd like to see if I could minimize going back and editing pictures, because there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I know that a lot of artists do that shit. They'll go back and move stuff around and fix it. I just want to let me get off that in case people think I'm being unironic. Sounds like you're fighting over there. I want to get to a point where I can like draw on a piece of paper with minimal erasing, because when you erase, you get smudges and it starts to look uglier and uglier the more you erase. It's like, oh.
Dadrith says, LOLW.
Huh. I see the kids over there are someone's getting beat. Regardless, let me see if I can finish this up.
To put something out onto the page, but it can also be super cathartic as well. Okay. Usually at this point we would continue on for another hour. Maybe people are getting up and going to the bathroom. I think for today.
You said this was the last exercise.
I kind of want to keep trying. Do I want to? Well, let's. Okay, I'm having a great time, so I'm gonna.
Holy shit. Yeah, we're constantly having to pull out and pull in. It's like, hey, you need to move your car. It's like, okay. Because it was fine. Like, squeeze through the 2 cars, but damn, it's just the final resting spot. I guess the car's broken down and whatever. Fuck, shit, god damn it. The last spot to park is in the worst spot, like damn smack dab in the middle. Like, okay.
If let's do a little exercise here, and this is gonna be something I didn't plan on doing, but just for fun. What I want to do is we are going to do. Come on. Okay. What I want to do now is we're going to take this same drawing and we're going to do it. Let's do it again, and we are going to do it twice as fast, and we're going to draw it upside down. Okay. So what I want you to do is I've inverted this image, and what I want you to try doing is to draw it faster, and I want you to draw it upside down, side by side here on the page. And I'm going to give you 4 minutes to do it, starting right now.
4. Okay, hang on. I gotta blow it up again. Boop, 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 boop. Shit, I haven't got time for this. Alright, there you go.
So, I'm going to check those 4 minutes starting, or we're already a couple minutes in, or 30 seconds. Let's try to go
Hold on, wait, fuck. Hold on, he's going too fast.
fast. I'm going to give you 4
Okay, let me
minutes to do it.
his method he was doing.
Starting right now.
Alright, so find the middle.
So,
Right here, so I can start right here.
I'm going to check. So, 4 minutes starting. We're already a couple minutes in, or we're about 30 seconds in. So, let's try to go faster. All right. So, you've already done this, but you did it the other way. Now it's upside down. So, now it looks a little bit different, right? And maybe you're going to be a little bit more flexible with yourself to draw it without being so concerned about making it perfect, because now it's upside down. What am I doing here?
He's got a baby too.
Okay, we got
I think I should
3 minutes
tried to-
left. And
let's see.
where am I here? I did see a comment there as I'm going here, as we're getting closer to finishing up. If you're enjoying this and you want to, leave a small donation, you don't have to, but there is a link to what's called PayPal Me in the description below, and you could just send $1 or $2 or $2,000 or whatever you want.
Oh man, actually, legitimately shut me.
And
yeah, that was a bad fuck up. We'll continue. We'll continue.
And that's just a little way of expressing, showing me that you're having a great time, but you don't have to. But I saw some people were asking about that. So eventually my Patreon will be up and running, which is another way of supporting this, and I'll have some kind of little perks for that, but I haven't set that up for today's show yet. It's just getting all of the tech running. Okay, so if you've done all that too, then you can even try to copy the text upside down.
I think I could fix this.
Which is tricky. And so, what am I doing here?
Get this line short, maybe.
You can see I'm not making it perfect either, right? I'm actually, it's very hard for me to see the screen because it's so tiny from, where am I going here? Oh my goodness. Okay.
What's this? So I can
So
do that.
maybe you've got an image like that. If you've done,
It's about
we've
done,
got
I
about
think.
another 45 seconds. People saying, "Keep drawing, keep drawing. This is great." That's very, very touching that people are enjoying this.
There.
And still,
I just messed
I'm
up.
seeing those numbers. Still 52 people watching in real time right now, drawing along with me. This is really exciting. Thank you so much, everybody, for
that is a
tuning
large
in
classroom.
and for watching. About 1 minute, or sorry, about 10 seconds left to finish your drawing.
What?
When you're all done
basically
your
done.
drawing, You can rotate your drawing. Let me see. We'll put this back.
Rotate.
Okay, and then you can
John's laugh says,
rotate your
line.
picture.
What'd you say? Line. Am I comparing it to my other drawing?
And then compare it to the original side-by-side, side up, right? Just as we're finishing up, and again, I'll stick
Honestly,
around for another.
not too bad. I think it's actually somehow. If I didn't mess up that one line, I think it did help starting from the middle and like kind of widening it out. I just forgot what line this fucking was. That's all.
Another 10-15 minutes. If anybody has any other questions, I'll go through all of your questions. But some people actually find drawing upside down like this actually improves their drawing. Because you stop looking at it as recognizable imagery and you just start seeing a bunch of weird shapes. Now this is a different little, it won't work as well with this activity because we were drawing a very distorted image to begin with. So, but if we were drawing a face, which we're going to do next class, and we'll repeat this exercise again, I think you'll find some really interesting developments will have occurred.
Way ahead of you.
So, if you you don't have to contribute anything. Again, this is intended to be a free class. But one way that you could help me out would be just to click like on this video and leave a comment. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel and also click that little bell next to it. I didn't even know what that. I hear people saying that. I'm like, what on earth are they talking about? But if you click that little bell, all it will do is it will just next time you go on YouTube, it'll be a little thing saying like, oh, there's a new video scheduled. And you can click on that, and it'll let you know that a new one of these videos is going to be appearing. There's also the you can RSVP to the Facebook page, which will keep you notified of when remind you that there's another episode coming on Thursday, and that links and all that stuff is down below. I'll also put out a detailed kind of timestamp of when we did each thing in the video itself after this is over, so that if you were like, oh, I want to try doing that upside down drawing again, when did we? And you're scrolling through, you just go down the bottom, click on that, and it'll immediately jump to that part, like a CD used to do when we had CDs, and you go to track 4 or whatever, right? As opposed to winding your cassette tape. Some people probably watching this don't even know what a cassette tape is. Okay, so let me see. So if you want to say sayonara right now, it's been a great pleasure having you with me here in my studio under these very odd circumstances. I would encourage you to do a little bit of drawing between now and next class. Even if it's like drawing, is looking around your house. Maybe you have some books on art, or you see something on Instagram. Is to pay a little bit more attention to those images and start thinking about what are the kinds of art that you're most attracted to. Is there a cartoonist or artist, a illustrator, somebody who's making images that you really like? Just to put that into the frame of mind, like maybe start following that person's Instagram or whatever. And it's important to start asking yourself what kind of art you like. Right? Everybody likes different kinds of art, so we want you to start narrowing down what you want to be doing. So we can also in this class maybe start focusing on those kind of styles that work best for you. Okay, so thank you very much for tuning in. I'm going to go through some of these comments and try to reply to people here. And let me see. Oh, great. Peter was watching. Peter's taking my classes. That's great to see you again here. There's a lot of people who have taken classes with me before. Karen, my painting class. Oh, great. Hi, Karen. Wendy says, I watch you go to Karen's wanting to learn some basic drawing skills to help with painting. That's super helpful. And Wendy, Delta, now she's got a lot of extra time. Lulu loves art here in Vancouver and was drawing with her daughter. I hope you and your daughter were able to get something out of today's class. And if there's other things that I can do that have helped make it more accessible for you and your children, please let me know in the comments. If there's things that were working well, I'd love to know what those are. Things you think I can improve on, whether it's some kind of lighting or sound. Those are really helpful. Yesterday I was teaching a photography class on the same channel, which you can watch right now too if you like. And the sound cut out towards the very end. And all these frantic comments. There's no sound, so I had no idea that was going on until people left those comments. Sam in San Francisco, he's an intermediate level artist. That's great. Hi Sam, welcome. My American friends. I lived for over 12 years, almost, in Los Angeles, and one of my first art exhibitions was in San Francisco. Let me see. And Dorothy, glad you're here to get on. It's definitely a little bit of a challenge if you've never watched a live stream before to figure out how all this works, but I'm hoping that you're able to make it work and you're able to draw along with me, Dorothy. Ria and Jeff. SR's buying 888. Thanks for tuning in. Steven. Oh, great, Steven. I wonder if Karn's there with you. You guys are drawing together up in Ontario. Guelph. Is it Guelph? Or I always want to say Guelph. That's a tongue twister. Guelph. I don't know. Stop saying this Vancouver mom watching with her crawling baby wanting to get great again. Oh, cool. Yes, we have an 8-month-old daughter upstairs, and trying to do anything with a little child is a little bit of a challenge.
Is it a Q&A or so people like, hey, watching from Rhode Island?
Great. So I hope this has been helpful. We're going to have to talk here, Paula. Amy. Oh, and our daughter Edie were watching upstairs. Oh, Sandra. Yes, good to see you again, too. Thanks for taking my
Oh, and apparently getting a food drop today.
Ebenezer. Yes, I remember, yeah.
The scraps.
And were you watching this day? Or was that another Ebenezer, too? Lori, another of my former students. Oh, yes, with your friend, Karen Lois. Yeah, I remember you guys. Ernesto, I don't know what you wrote here, Ernesto, in Spanish. In Chile, maybe? Is that, that's awesome. Yeah, South America. Oh, awesome. That's one place I'd love to go. It's sort of like on my bucket list of places down in Latin America and Machu Picchu and Argentina, Brazil. My wife and I went for our honeymoon in Mexico. I know it's not South America, totally different countries. I'm not that ignorant, but that was I still think probably one of my absolute favorite vacations of all time. Of course, I was in the glow of our wedding, but oh my goodness, the food in Mexico, oh, it's the best ever. And the people, super nice. Rodolfo, oh yeah, Montreal. You took one of my classes 2 years ago. Great, I'm glad that we're still in touch. Great to see you, Rodolfo. And Deb, hope your audio kicked out. I remember reading during the middle of the stream panic because that was what happened yesterday. Yes, and Deb was asking if classes available. Yes, so you can watch this over again. Yannick, oh yes. To be or not to be? yes, to be. I've been teaching for so long. I can't believe I've never made that joke. That's a good little. I'm a father, so it's, I get the bad jokes. There's my mother watching from Calgary. Hi, Mom. Maybe I hope you were drawing along with us too, instead of just watching. I know a lot of people just watch, but I would encourage you to draw. It's a good skill. But some people say I might be good at doing this. So, but I appreciate the support regardless. Oh, the Huntley family here. Great. Yes. Jody was interrupted, and she was back on. So many familiar faces. Jessica. Yes, I remember you. We're watching here in Vancouver. Hoping the basics. Yes. Well, we started out from ground zero, right? So we're going to progressively get better and better as we go. Thanks, Peter, for letting us know about any donations. Stephen, thanks for pointing out the importance of not being a perfectionist. Absolutely. But being a perfectionist is helpful if you are building a building, and you want to make sure the building doesn't fall. Even if you look at Frank Gehry's drawings, one of probably the greatest architects in Canadian history, or he's certainly the greatest architect in Canadian history, but certainly maybe top 5 in human history. If you look at his sketches, Frank Gehry, he's the guy that did the Guggenheim Bilbao Museum, beautiful building in the Disney Concert Hall in Los Angeles. His sketches are super sloppy. He's definitely, I met him and walked around his studio with him, which was like walking through the chocolate factory with Charlie, or not Charlie, Willy Wonka. That was a pretty incredible experience. And looking at, he made these drawings on little pieces of paper. They're just these doodles, and he'd give them to his staff, and then they would build them into these architectural models. Like, I was just like, this is what I want. I want to make a little scribble on a napkin and pass it to somebody, turn this into a building. Sam saying keep drawing, yes. I love it. Just only so many hours in the day here, right? I could probably do a whole 10-hour class in one sitting and burn your way out. Just have a great time. Thanks, Sam. I really appreciate that. Steven, just drawing you out. I definitely had people leave class. I hear them in the hallways and like, oh man, getting a beer now. That was intense. So I'll like your gym trainer. I'll work you out for sure. All these people saying thank you, all great, thank you. Yes, and Dorothy said you drew better at drawing upside down. Who knew, right? Sometimes when we're drawing right side, we get so fixated on making it perfect. Amy says awesome. Thank you, Amy. Sarah, thank you. Blue Star, thank you. I'm not sure which of the was it Mary Ellen Huntley? I just put my brain into a corner that doesn't usually go. Thank you. thanks, Mary Ellen. Lulu 23, love your mustache. Thank you. I'm gonna make a video on how to style mustache. That's a question I always get all the time. Thank
Next lesson.
Thank you. This is so nice. Thank you, everybody. I'm grateful. Thank you. And so thanks. So you took the intimidation out of drawing. This should be fun. And you guys are too hard on yourselves. Absolutely. That's the whole plan. Is to make this as accessible as possible, so that it's anybody can draw. When I hear people saying they cannot draw, it drives me absolutely nuts. I think it's like somebody saying I can't drink water. I think, well, it's just, but I understand where that comes from. So it's not super crazy to say that, but it is a myth. And it's a myth. It's a really powerful myth that we tell ourselves in our culture. Sadly, very far too young. Muchas gracias, Rodolfo. Yes. Joe Judy says first time so slow. Trying to figure out how I try drawing and what it feels like. Okay. Well, I mean, hopefully this was as easy as an introduction to it as I could make it. Okay, well, that takes us to about 5:30 here on the West Coast, and I think for here I'm going to call it a show, and thank everybody for tuning in and for all of the great comments. I love that interactive quality we can have here online that we're not able to do in person. It's also great that I can have all these people that I've never met all around the world come join me here in the studio and learn a little bit as well, so which would have been impossible before, right? I'm super grateful. Thank you very much. Everybody stay safe, wash your hands, and thank you to all of the people out there. Maybe you're one of them who is continuing to be out there on the front lines, keeping this world running while the rest of us are at home doing drawing class. So thank you very much, everybody, and until next time.
This is COVID.
Bye-bye.
Cool. I like that. I like the vibes. Let's see. Yeah, I like the vibes of that. Like, I watched a few of those. Not that I was seeking them out or anything, but I came across a few. I draw every day for 100 days videos. Which it's supposed to, like PewDiePie's. There's a few other ones that people made. It's supposed to be like motivational. It's like, oh, anybody can draw. But it's not. It doesn't feel. I mean, from the get-go, I try not to fixate on it. Like, it's supposed to be motivational, but I feel like instead of like fixating on where they end up, or where they start from, the fixation's on like the progress. It's like by day 30, the pictures look really, really good, really good, really solid. And then like just looking at your 30-day or whatever, it's like, oh, I haven't gone any well. Right. I decided to just not fall in that trap at all. So I would just watch the video as they are. I was like, okay. And then carry on. And just kind of listen to like the lessons they've learned or whatever, instead of fixating on like where they're at on what day. I try not to fixate on that and actively just fucking block it out. Day 90? Ignore it. Ignore it. Don't focus on it. Because like they're what you don't see is like they're trying different stuff and experimenting or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna get ready for work. The times, my work hours should be changing. This Thursday, or at the earliest, it could be as late as you know, a Thursday one day. I don't know. We'll see. I need to take scissors and like cut some parts of this beard, and I'm seeing it stick out in some parts. It's pissing me off. But yeah, come join me for lessons. The classes I'm taking.
Says, Angry 3 heart.
Next at time. Woo. Actually, I didn't look. Let me see. How well? I'm not going to. I totally forgot to snag the playlist. Oh fuck, where? MarkowskyArt's. I just gotta find the playlist again. Oh no, his last video was a year ago. Wait, something's not right here. And the video before that was 7 years ago. What the
Yon's laugh says,
what the fuck?
Reopen closed.
True. I don't know why I didn't. I do that regularly. So oh, because he's doing live streams. This is why it's not showing up as videos. Save playlist library. I just want to see when his last live stream was. Oh, last stream was 4 days ago, and his next one is scheduled for today at 2 o'clock, 40 minutes from now. It looks like he's painting. Is he painting? I don't know. I suppose I could share this now. Hang on. I see paint with me, but I don't want to open the video and have some, you know, in expectations, I suppose. But I think this is good. Just playing around with different styles and methods and whatever. Because, you know, you might vibe with something that you didn't think about or consider. These are 6-hour streams, 7-hour streams. Woo! Damn. Gee, okay. Wait, one of these streams did numbers. Hang on. I saw like 1K somewhere. 300, 400, 600. Where is he? 1.5K. Munter's Scandinavian Girl. This one popped off for some reason. This one too. Jesus. Young hair. Anywho, I'm out of here.